Ma me fa say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV de o se dem yopo.
Atifo ne ahwefo yema obi biara kwaba eba PENDREAM TV. Say na your first time or subscribe to channel no na click the notification bell no so. Like jumadie no na share ma afofro so ensa enkabi. Say ye nyina ye beka ya eye last year kwesiche dakwa ede ensembe etodwa. Na obo the finance minister Ken Ofori Atta aji na afenso no other national issues bia na edika. Eno na msokra ma eye one of the TV stations ebana from appearing and I say visiting their station to speak on national issues. Na I know actually no ama nanti anda and I say amana anjai nejuma pa na oyema o my Ghana. And then so no wa reacted to ensema Professor PLO Lumumba ede atujano. Now we true massive support ama Professor PLO Lumumba. Our trust PLO Lumumba ensema okani na no great na he support him 100%. KKD HSA enyadea ono oje bribe and I say osro intimidation na ewiase kra no se nipa nkunwa wankasa ubewu. Se wutie KKD kasa muya NPP has tried bribing him to silence him from speaking on national matters, but because oye good citizen tino or rejected bribe no and I was say Ghana ene hiano na Ghana ene da akomaso. Ensem ne ensema hudo bi na KKD ede atodwa mepese obeka me ho na yeti ensema KKD ekan anse na beko no subscribe to channel na click notification bell no so like jumadie no na chere wadwen e comment section no owi anu wa share video no ama afofron so ensa akan yenti ensema KKD ede atodwa
yakwa amano so benu akwakubu ate na ye ne yenua KKD enko twetwe enkomo na yenti ono so ni take on Professor Lumumba and some of the two enra ewo KNUST. Many are penny KKD, Yamakwa about the inside politics. We are
in command. You want to bribe the action. Really, company power. Oh, yeah.
You do body.
Nana for every from me, but me made being chiniache, and I said, you can fracture. To be in Kuwa,
and one
woman, a chrono home fast one. And I won't share. On a man, I'll carry your watching. I will be here, Missy Massa. Will be in Kuwa. Wow, will be a Kuwa. And someone make canoe. Then something in our question, Bob Marley as some who the cap fits.
Let them wear it. Fantastic.
And you should be a fracture. See, I can't a crumb for some now in your crumb for in chew. Yeah, you for some now in we are in chew. Tell yourself you're a fracture. I dear wooing, you know. I ain't you to buy on sono. Whom be German saying him and be defended. Because people defend who they are. People defend who they are.
Very well.
You can't say any pedin as what to moi and sana will be your own says Mr. Fracheco. Now, someone would say, I won't see Asiana will come, who be similar bones and simply be in tro. Maybe so homa, a yano quarry. Tikaya will mock whom will be fee. Mugabe won't you be who fee and out the Honda cell.
Yeah, the Mekoda Kadam Paria Boma Bongo Dada.
The way you are buying Juma. I just a banya juman ye chiawa. And I want Jumana will yan answer and I'll buy him with chiawa. And I see who couldn't see you may be said, and you don't see Burj Khalifa. And you don't see State Department. It can't mean now. And you know, see a bizarre Yakabonian man.
Nenia Semu
Lumumba and some of the kind. Yes, in my way. So, who shall we in your mrea? Biara baby, I will be a so what Czechoslovakia. So what Chechnya, so what Namibia, so what Ghana, so what Nigeria. So what Mawitisu now will shave you when you may be Hunstroma. Obian was see, name my mono shave you my own Hunstroma, so could be man's once and work of Hunstroma. Now, Stroman on Ukraine, Ayana and North Sania, and near good form of a dorsal. And to baby other could be at a crowd for dorsal. I sing on Mamma any nipa woman to me canoe. Na enne edibremon won a etumi ka no kore no ba konne PLO Lumumba ono so sabi o wedi nchi Oni sa wo ye dean ya obi enku a wa obewu. Asem o kana eye no kure. Emra no nimu. Why director of school of law pen? But enya mra onimu ni here because adisua nyefun bebre sa. Adisua nyefun bebre sa. E say Jimmy for to me di first. If you so need send here yesua de onim send here kaya de. Na emum nyansa. Nyansa yesuma nyansani yansuma na mrotenten. Enti ya wayaye maimu na se o main bapa ebeka no kwa afa yaye ho akire yen na yentia. Wo beba be ka akire. Sabi yota frache krachi ya wako wari obi ba ene na betena. Sa wo ho jimpampan na akete isi etimi kas esori na okacho say oh kwami ampume. Na nse dia ho bon kan. Wo ya da me apoapo. Enti ya wo na se wo jare kra mema Isaiah na de twitwi ho. Now we also am top perfume bi ade bu. Na wentie na bo ba yeso na kwa abonten a. Abonten so ni be fra wapo. Efi sa wo bon. Enti wuti wa wo man mu na wa o man bapa e ka no kware kire wo na wa antia. Ohofo e ba be ka kire wo. Ese ti ya Lumumba on sro bia. On sro hu. Me sa na me baba tete me no. Ya mfuma de enye sika ne ehia. Ya kakra yenya ne yetima ne ya kono tia na nkofo fisa aburu yeso me nu pia na di Rolls Royce ba yesifika no ne na nte kwa nkofo be je se ka na de pa ne kwa him media
sika fata wo mo
ya wo sika ni o mama krono kankan mu de kwahin ana pia lo lumo baba ka kire no so be Kenya hono enya perfect but when we say ya no muno, one can cranny ya kawa mumia. I don't know, I say, or be a G position. Now they are conflict of interest. Now, my church, so be a uncle share conflict of interest. Our Investopedia, non tiafi. Your station say, Yama un Kasabi, making Maka Obiara Assam since September 2021. And such as a Ufariata is called untouchable. Or diamond, or platinum.
Yes, sir. Nikeke, Sadia Oka say, Professor Lumumba, every Kenya, Abekasa.
As some more kinds of question, why am I? And I'm sitting here, we mean you. Men na me jeje osufra bu nua pe me yedehie na sabiota frache me papa ne me maame man me ne be ma penyi eti me do wo na me de wo ye nua penyi onya me nua penyi na se wo me spray me ka kire me se akwesu de dan be ne cars be na opani amfa ma wo na kire se te se nya wakọ sori no wapon asori na obi ni yiri pie na krachi ya dane ne ho chi asofo na wo wakọ gina na yiri ne ho ebisa ne se anye bia me no da one round a wo beje me ya. So Obama to me and one on the Quasia. And you saw who said, who you crastini, comfort, our bride. And what Jane said, Nifa Piara to say, what? A CIO.
Very well.
Not be fine any. And it is a CI making. So what your radio now? When it's on one. And the crab are concerning Akata. I'm Sakasa, Uncle Yen. I see okay, only the only argument, the man I'm saying, Massa. And come on, winning me a deal. My shadow send a voice note. One so fun, your man, I'm actually in Nana. Nina, F speech, a PLO Lumumba Bay or Ghana. Name mum, Kawoma, Mene, papa, ho. I was come up minimum, papa. Fako, Moana Pacochum, sir. Eja, enough. Mene King Kwesi Dakwa, Edin Kobobi. Anyabia Muntie, Namunshe. Na monchire me na obon so maame no papa be ka kire se a be ma etu hu sanya KKD kan ye nyansa
KKD ya bada nyansa o na me ka se ye tie man mu ne ya bye ya se e ye boy ya se dwie ma ho be kire nyansa
ya se te gu ha ebi di to hotel ebi di to we na wo fomo no anye bia we bu se nyankopon se Obama won na he na wudi edi bisa
Rapenyi ewie nyame asomdwe nkan ene nkoma woni ya twetwen wa TVSYZ ne Power FM so ama wosen kura gumi.
Masando PLO Lumumba speeches 4.
Fantastic.
Into where wa no ni speeches bebre ego be computers.
Fantastic. Ya Michelle. Ya dasi. Ya betwe yes ya hwe so ho so ye ma ya brapenyi. KKD akasa. Na kojo unu se twonkomo wo se onu no obi a wafa ato na koma so se obeka no kore achete memofo wo man we mu ene wo hwe ne sema wo kan nyina yi oye very very consistent you can enua na ujia so no wo kan se nkofo ya kronfo and he knows them woni momo nkofo woni momo kan ofori atamo edi etuom he knows them
and oni maybe I know one animu a no hu onimu se no munye obi a
fantastic
onimu yes
ya mauka ne
ena ese mo abaya banti mo be nipa body shirt sese no afransi ya mauka ne ma de
ya enkwa
na me wono no okasa we careful we program we share the program nyina nyansa o de begu wono kura utie bia o to be fa emu aba na so de ayo de enti ono a wokasa ne wa ya de they want to make Jan and Naswa for so many years. About 3-4 years or 30 years, or Jumana up to now. Why are they power? Because you'll be behind with my sir. Do na about this quiet dear Kogi and Crophobe brain no mutimicas I echo when you near my papa and net Ushama Mubium, who friend in power one casa. What must say? And so I had the minion baby Obi and Chakas and Commando. Fantastic. But when him here, program running at us
Cecilia the pa.
I want to what Mammy Midasi, what the odd day. What was a minute I was worse or gone. Constituency what Joru one fie no your primary school no ne ho na ofi on mabend
so we no
I mean the year 2020 election ya near registration no the envelope mpo code na echo around say obi amwa kakra say sa na normally kwakubu at na party for you know me say party panimu na at around I envelope abro na so the aboa na nkrofo be frefrem nkrofo no so we envelope mo ko we score the shame 20 Ghana cedis 20 Ghana say me say
the contribution
the contribution of the man ya was so organ abele npe lecture area 20 Ghana cedis and what the mom na say wo dem nyina ro da dollars so wo na te kra won kra ma nyina
go search here dey papa
on give 20 Ghana cedis muga wonim
on charge
no mo kasem we me in the lawyers now mo ye we no say asem na fepo na say kokota na e court ever e court it ain't been come too much there but yes ni kru ne say
oh yeah na say ma work out one say
na bi me nko ho
special prosecutor fi okowura ye ni sika
yes I want ni kru ni say ono na okọ kromo oba okọ ede okọ na baba oba okowura ni dem ho Mr. ya amumu say papa ni say wo ye sure ni pokpo ba bi obi organ na no betimi ye ni pokpo ba obetimi aso say e true na muga woni made na case na aba no omo timi omo omo de adanko what you say. Yes, but the question, the main question is Ababa wana no te omu fie na omu friend Sarah no te omu fie na Ababa yeah ono omu so 32 hour wo and say who we are no busa ho say no onyem COVID-19 time no onyem one of the police officers ya no mba fie no ne nyem onyem Ababa wana ko hospital aba na me breaking news am wo ko hospital oba na to niema hihye ya contract ni pa betu ye wonsa no djuma wote ase e benya bia ye tuma hwe ne ebusianfo ba se kufu ado mamu we oba mu de Mr. Omenga ho because omo no mte ho no adwene ba ko wo mutim ni se da bia se ye samasa e boni o e papa o se o ka se papa wote maze yeso so no bia ntete sa na ye tuane sa enu ntenti bi nka ne sa timuga metima ka kyo se kwadwe ebo na NPP de e bi fie na me nya NPP da and this me madda and this ne de me ne John Mahama ne be wie ne pon wa ye kwa ba bi what ma say apart from that me ne nyuma di obedi ne hihya wo hihya nhye pa e manage because I'm sure John Mahama ono na busu an say sabiam nya adum guy different thing altogether wo hwe ne nu Ibrahim wo hwe ba Ghana for ne fa so kufu ado ne fa so me ka me no radio station ba ko ba bi eska bi ko de come current president wo kai sa me ne fa so na no nyam enhyanka nyankopon ye project bi a my sister ye wo kwabenya kwana bi ne project aye ye ntina me ye foundation big foundation bi za etimuga na me cement u se electrical say no normally cement kakra bi nyi so bebre e da me cement ye papa e call first shop na mbusa ye cement be na good am de no mo abojata man dia me count na be say me can no crack say no crack ma anye ni one because another place almost I recommended the third place on from our aunties or Kwabenya would when chair comment estate kwanes or one and almost I recommended the same jata. A one who say yes. A queba and chair. Now the any give you a gun and was anka humpo or toss benum. As about me or do 10. It will share a brand and you might do the ban and say, Nan ne jata that it will be an answer to jata 200 bars. And the DSR project, no, yeah, but that was be now. She jata you my DD now. She on any niamu, the omodo mine now call with a share ni power form or Ghana. Can I Japan ni power form no, ye chem 5 can I Japan ni kotau. As so nami, so dear, Tama born to one for ni power form one hiva. Coast or ni part of those and a more costo. What am I say? What you almost saying? What am I say? I can try the baba, will be 2 fear no 1.5 for near we baby out. 150 to be said about the American is a John Mamma Nabusian for them no money and a beba, me no money and a bequire quiet year, me near Kwakubat on here, the some deputy secretary, say party in the Munya, and Piper some barns a woman. Ya every morning I'm with them. I don't know they will party super power. Me nyɛ sure some party ba power. Me baba krono say nko. Me microphone da confirm.
Ba kuma sensem.
Ye che ide ma me mfe wo ntwam. Am say me nya hoho bi. Before ena me yes abranti ide o bi nanka me mfe mbosti u kaka. Na manya obi announcement mi ana. Na ma me ne tomatoes for ma me forgan the 10 cedi.
Yeah,
so there.
No man.
You are correct, me answer. And the crowd is saying,
"Lucky no."
And then say never.
Nigga happen say.
She.
I was a dear.
E na ma ko to tomatoes ato mu we ne baako. Na enso. Ekoye bibia na ese o hairdressing na me de kokoto tomato 10 cedi a mesan ne na ko hu na ye Animguase. O we nya che se do man ni mu ayeden. Man mu ayeden to the extent say mrantie ye wom kra na che se ye goto tomatoes ani ani omoku. Ye yi to che tomato ma o enya kese ye wom. Oyi ni tu. Na tu no so no yi ni nketo apa. Man mu ayeden. Me eya me nim kwan a ye nuanom survive wo Ghana. Koso hwe se de duane boa yeden. Oh. If you are in the country, de che se so nya nafo duane. Your daily dear. Every country bia. Yawo Africa. Yawo aban we ba ye no so no abeye bibia. Ye agriculture minister. Oma 2 program din planting for food and jobs. Oh, expect to say duane.
During that period when he serves, it is meritocracy rather than mediocrity that ruled. And I'm saying, therefore, that as we commemorate the life of John Evans Atta Mills, we must be warriors for meritocracy. For too long, in the continent of Africa, including here in Ghana sometimes, we have allowed men and women who have no credentials to rise to high heights. John Atta Mills is telling us the time to stop is now. For too long, we have had individuals whose only claim to fame is avarice, rise to high height. John Atta Mills is telling us, no, we should not. We have for too long allowed our institutions to be led by men and women who have no business leading domestic and village cattle dips, because even the cows will reject them. So today, we are here to celebrate a great man who served well. A great man who believed that you are not successful until your successor succeeds. A great man who believed that life and political office is a relay race, that you run your leg and hand over the baton to another generation. A great man who recognized that academic excellence combined with political excellence and agility is indeed the recipe for success. A great man who knew that servant leadership is what his country needs. A great man who knew that simplicity is the highest form of sophistication. A great man who recognized that equity is the greatest form of development. And that is why we hear testimonies where men and women during his time were judged not by the color of their skin or by their gender, but by their character. That is the man that we need now. That is the man of whom I speak now. That is the man whom we are commemorating today. And you know, when you speak about such a man, you don't speak for too long because it is unwise to do so. When you speak of such a man, you only touch that which is important. And when I speak about him, and as I must not speak for too long, I remember as a young student in 1979, I remember reading a book that in some ways spoke about John Evans Atta Mills. That book is a Greek tragedy. That book is Sophocles' Oedipus. And I remember in the very last words of that book, some parts are relevant, but some parts are not relevant. The relevant part that relates to John Atta Mills is what I will refer to when we speak about him. Behold, sons and daughters of Ghana and Africa, there lived John Atta Mills, one of the greatest Ghanaians that Ghana has ever produced. He came and served for a short time. He served in humility, in recognition that success must never be defined by he who is successful, but is defined by those who live long after him. Today, I can make an announcement that indeed John Evans Atta Mills was a successful man. He was a successful man because 10 years after he was gathered to his fathers, we are assembled here, young and old, to commemorate him. He was a successful man because we are gathered here. We are gathered here from traditional chieftaincies, and we are saying he was a great man. We are gathered here from the academia, and we are saying he was a great man. We are gathered here from the political arena, and we are saying he was a great man. We are gathered here from the students who are eager with curiosity, and they are saying, although we did not see him, he was a great man. We are gathered here because I come from Kenya, and I'm saying he was a great man. He must have been great indeed. And you know, the only lesson that he now teaches us, particularly to you young men and women, he is telling us, I came, I saw, I played my part. You who are young, you look at the things that I did. Look at the things that others did. Emulate what I did and go out into the world and prove that it can be done, because it must be done, and because if it is not done, Africa will never realize our potential. So I say with you today, John Atta Mills is dead. Long live John Atta Mills. Long live John Atta Mills.
Live his legacy. Professor Lumumba and Ekasano. Say Professor John Evans Atta Mills say woman say wada ne bankum so ne modern morning na dwuma and said ye was so more mine. Na wanya panyi a wo mema mema na beti so na woye panyi a ne pani die su ne say wo ba som ne man. Na wanya panyi a wo sam fa wo sa wo ye oba fa wo sa wo ye bema wo hwe say adwumadie ya mede hye wo nsa no wo se fata wo betimi aye. Na wanya panyi a wakwasesa ne namfonom na busuafo ade omu begu abamu sese de sikaba mumramba Rệjêcts na monko. That wasn't John Evans Atta Mills. And all said yes he can yeah can for all said yes he can wasem. Mo amu aben mu sabre emre bi beba ye betima ka mo ho asem say mi busa mo. Mo asika pudu a ye betimi ade atwetwa ntokura wo ya kwan so egum dem emre bi beba ye betima ka mo ho asem say. Mo tena se aya hwe han ama yensuo yensase ye kwaye asai enam ganam say. Ye betima ka mo ho asem say emre bi. Mo tena se aya hwe han ama mmaburu ni adwuma omo ye. People have qualified, they have qualifications, they have masters, but they don't have jobs. Meanwhile, yes, Bobby said, yeah, but yeah, one district, one factory. In fact, factory hand a human po a bomb mebuno to say, yeah, John Sabo Akoko. And maybe, Baba, you better welcome home some say. That's the question I'm asking you, Alan Martin. That's the question I'm asking you, Dr. Mamadou Baumia. That's the question I'm asking you. His Excellency NanaAddo Akufo-Addo Enchebia Baba, your former president. That's the question I'm putting to you this morning. Maybe Baba, you better can send Pabisa from home. Say a bama man your summer, no more come mind the bomb, no munti, monfanti timu, and in papa ma. And not should you see you inside politics. A bra, you didn't mean saka promo neighbor. She Ghana a matanya mo freye. Ebro mu twa draw no anaso mu twa rafo no omu boss star 274 hash omunya 500 cedis hwe se de no mu si da XYZ ene mogabia se ne power fm asese hwe se de no mu si da yase because no pesika yo e de akotua hospital bills wo pesika yi e de akotua ne masuku fees, and it's all because ya said that ma. Oh my God, na sika sema say ama inflation na wiem. Ese ukobabosia ensi hu e batatu no won't fam your business. How do you open up or set up a business in Ghana with such high interest? And you sit down and then you pat yourself in the back and call yourself a leader. You have all failed this country. Well, say if Africa will get it right, and we'll say Ghana enyan right. But is Ghana getting it right with this high incidences of catastrophic project, dream idea, and your trimode? And he said, you hear, as your docroye. Messi said, you hear, as your docroye. No, Mamutia, or Power FM, Usha, or TVXYZ. Yea, we are walking the talk. And me dare Ghana buying. Someone Jessica said, yeah, Jessica. Mama Juma Muso to say, yes, so your passa, your first Sika Chakwan you so, and my Juma Buso. And the one who tell me dial star 274 hash. Me so baba jiska. Cha man for be numsika. And nipa 9 e baba jisika no pay ya. Mo beje. Because we understand the situation that you want. Me the situation that you want say. She bema this year obi this year brante wa ne hwene tegwa nanim kama na watch the suit na wan na bonten na wa stop obi ka bra me say wontimi o ma me 5 cedis bi. Look at this. All because ya more money more ya gain. Ye His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Ye guswa ye boy tonton sansan. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Wa bro no so de na no disam tuga e wo kasachire dwumadie ya. Ye in honor of the memories of the late President John Evans Atta Mills. O kasafa ketasano proye ho. O kasafa ye said ye yesidi mpapa mu aba man mu. Wo de tie no.
The country in which a lot of people held high hopes in. The country that led the liberation struggle for Africa. And to say that much the same as we see across the continent is happening in our own country. Our economy is in crisis and there is hardship across the land. Corruption and theft have become the new normal and not the exception. Impunity has enveloped our land, and public officials carry themselves as if they own the country. Ostentation has become the hallmark of people in office, and arrogance has become the prime character of the current leadership. Now, if you look at all that is happening in Ghana today, they were completely contrary to the attributes that Atta Mills espoused. Atta Mills was a man of integrity. and all of us can vouch for his integrity. He was a modest man and didn't need millions of dollars in his house to survive. Atta Mills was humble and respected everybody, from the oldest person to the youngest person. He treated everybody as a human being and treated them with decency and decorum. He was a very practical person, and he was a very transparent person. As one of those who worked very closely with him, I'll share a few anecdotes that will put his persona in greater perspective. We all know he was a man of peace, and his mantra that we all heard all the time was Ameze Mepe Asumdwe. And that is how come he repeated it so often that his opponent thought they were mocking him by calling him Asumdwe, and it actually became the most appropriate title for him. And so in Ghana today, we all call him with pride, the Asumdwe. And that is why the park where he's buried, where we gathered to celebrate him just last Monday, is named the Asumdwe Park, the Park of Peace.
PENDREAM TV. Now, so far so good. Say open online portal e Ghana. Nipa share, nipa follow, nipa comment here. To my best of knowledge, without any biases, PENDREAM TV.